Ask the Boss, episode number
15. I know.
Are you sure? Are you sure it's 15?
Well, you said it was 14. We thought it was 15. I wanted to like redo a new version.
But this is an upgraded version. Right. We're like in the Matrix now. We got Bobby Bands, our new full-time videographer, because all you people out there were saying whenever I do an iPhone video, you can never hear us. Well, so if you can't hear this, then it's Bobby Bands' fault. Bobby, get in here. And look at these pants. Look at these. Look at these. You see these? I can't believe I would hire somebody who would wear those pants. Anyways, just so you know, this is the second take of this video. The first take of this video, the mic wasn't plugged in, so we had to do this again so we'd have the quality sound that I was bragging about in the beginning. And now we're gonna have to take a pause.
How you guys doing?
Back. I had to take off my sweater. Pat was getting me all worked up. We had to get closer.
No, slide over.
The meat. I was getting the meat. The meaty thighs was giving me the meat sweats. All right, can we get into a question now?
What question are we on?
We're question number 1 because remember the mic issue that Bobby made us redo.
Oh, all right. All right, little guy 21.
Okay.
Can you take core test by itself? Or do you have to stack with something else?
All right, since I had this eloquent answer last time, I'll try to keep this short. So Core Test, that's our natural test booster. It has some anti-estrogens in it as well. It's a powdered product. It's our newest test boosting product. Certainly can be taken on its own. We've had some good blood work results from on paper and good anecdotal results in the gym taking it on its own. It's a phenomenal product. Take it for 8 weeks on, 4 weeks off. Can be taken on its own. What a lot of people are doing and they're loving, and when we put the sale on our site as the Alpha Hard Test Stack, they're running that stack together. Core Alpha is another pill form of a test booster, has GH booster as well, and it also has 2 very strong anti-estrogens, so a little stronger on the anti-estrogen part. Take 2 pills at night, take Core Test pre-workout, and then take Core Hard 3 times a day, morning pre-workout and at night. The results on that stack are awesome. I know my training's pretty dialed in now, and whenever I take that stack, I literally get stronger every workout. And so that is my favorite stack. That's what I totally recommend for people. And when they take it, they're kind of blown away that, how is this a natural stack? So on its own or graded, was stacked with Alpha and Hard.
All right, let's keep the stack stuff going. So T-Hubs, what is the difference between stacking Hard and 5AT or just ordering Hard Extreme from Australia? Which is more effective?
Okay, so let's back it up 3 years ago. Right. So Core Hard used to have 5AT in it. 5AT is a downstream metabolite of 7-keto DHEA. It's a strong anti-cortisol. That product got put on the banned substance list in some natural bodybuilding organizations. Core Hard was such a great product, even without that ingredient, we wanted to make sure it was on the market. So we took that out and then created a new version of Core Hard, which just replaced that with phosphatidylserine. And that's what the Core Hard exists now. It's perfectly legal for competitions and all of that. We decided, because a lot of people love the 5AT ingredient, to make it as a commodity. So you can, for the people who really like that 5AT, you can take it and stack it on top of the Core Hard. The Core Hard Extreme, which is only found in the nutrition corner, so if you want it in the U.S.
So T-Hubs, I think your U.S., you can call any nutrition corner store and get it through the stores.
Yeah. So it's found in the U.S., but it was originally designed for Massive Joe's, our distributor in Australia, because they don't allow pills there. It has to be in powder form. So Core Hard Extreme is basically the exact same formula as Core Hard, except for it has 2 other very mild anti-estrogen herbals added to it. So it is a little bit stronger. People really like Core Hard Extreme whenever they take it. I actually prefer the pills just because it's like another powder that I would have to take 3 times a day. I like to take powder pre-workout. Pretty much I put all my powders in there. And Core Hard is something that should be spread out throughout the day. So putting 3 scoops of Core Hard in here is like taking 3 pills at once. You're not going to get your most benefit out of it. So for me personally, I like the pills because they're just easier to take. I don't have to mix up a shake or throw it in my mouth, 3 times a day. So it's to each his own, but the results on the Core Hard Extreme, it is a little bit stronger version of the Core Hard, but completely separate from the 5AT. 5AT you can stack with either of them.
Cool. Good?
Good.
All right, let's move it on. Post-workout stuff. So I got a couple questions regarding post-workout. The Granite State Kid, what do you take after you work out? Is it a protein shake or do you use some kind of carbohydrate first? What's the timing of that? So let's talk about that.
Oh my gosh, that's such a coincidence. Look at this. Go figure.
Take 2 has its perks.
I've taken a form of Core PWO pretty much after every workout for the past 10 years. This is the newest form, just came out. It's in 3 flavors now: chocolate brownie batter, peanut butter toffee, vanilla cake. Not only does it taste awesome, it has basically everything you need post-workout. I'll tell you the other things I take post-workout as well that this actually doesn't have, but there's a reason for it. So really fast-acting whey protein isolate, very easily digesting, no lactose. It's the highest quality whey isolate you can get, or whey protein you can get. The most important thing post-workout is going to be carbohydrates. So this has dextrose, which is pure glucose, which is going to give you that insulin spike, which helps blunt cortisol. And then the carbohydrates will help replenish muscle glycogen. If you don't fully replenish your muscle glycogen after training, you kind of get run down. And that's why when we switch people from taking just a whey post-workout to a full all-in-one PWO that has the carbs, protein, and everything else, we notice a big difference in their recovery. They actually come in, man, like all I did is change that post-workout shake and I noticed a difference. So we've seen that a lot. So not only does this have dextrose, but it also has 2 patented carbs, Carb 10 and cyclic dextrin, which are very easy on the stomach. And really cool ingredients. You can go on our website, you can read about the science behind them. This also has 5 grams of free-form L-leucine. L-leucine is the anabolic signal, starts the pathway for protein synthesis. And the really cool part about this, it has velocitol. So velocitol is a new ingredient. It's going to be seen in a lot of protein powders coming up. So you'll hear that word again, velocitol, in the future because everyone will be starting to be using it. It's basically an ingredient, a form of chromium that has been shown to significantly increase protein synthesis when taken in conjunction with whey protein. So all in one, so a serving of this is 2 scoops. It's in a 1 to 1.5 ratio of protein to carbs. I take this. I take 3, maybe sometimes even more other than that, scoops post-workout, put it in my shaker, put it in my bag. As soon as I'm done training, fill it with water, pound it down. The only other thing I add to this is creatine monohydrate from our commodities line. Some people don't want creatine, so we didn't put that in here. And the other product I'm trying is Mark & Sean's Ambrosia line, their overtraining solution, which is kind of a form of colostrum and some other things. Obviously, I think very highly of their products, and I've heard really good things. So I'm trying that mixed in with my post-workout. So that's my post-workout routine.
All right. So Chris Brumman is interested in Core PWO.
Yep.
But believe it or not, Carb 10 and cluster dextrin give him really bad stomach problems. Could he use Core Grow post-workout instead?
Sure. So Core Grow is going to have a whey concentrate, so a little slower digesting, has lactose. Still a really high-quality product. And the carbs are coming from oats, sweet potato, and quinoa, which are going to be slower digesting, not give you quite the same insulin response. But at the end of the day, it would work perfectly fine post-workout. I prefer that over something like just ISO or just Pro.
Right.
So you can totally do that post-workout. In fact, later on in my prep, as I get really lean, I actually switch to a slower digesting carb as opposed to dextrose or cluster dextrin or something like that. So the slow digesting carbs work really well for some people. So go ahead and try it, see how you respond.
Yeah, try it, or try using Core ISO, but maybe stack it with your own carbohydrate. I used to just drink an isolate and maybe eat some rice cakes or eat some raisins or dried
Gatorade.
fruit.
Just get powdered Gatorade and throw it in.
Because the Grow does have 10 grams of fat from avocado, coconut oil, MCTs, and I do personally believe it slows down a lot of the absorption, so I try to stay away from fats post-workout, and that's just me personally. So, the ISO with the carb of your own.
Let me show a little tip here, because this is very timely. See that little clump in the bottom of this? You know what that is?
It's your test.
It's Core Test.
Yeah.
So here's the trick. What I did is I put water in, my powders were down here. This is my pre-workout. I put water in here and I let it sit over there without shaking it first. Core Test is made of a lot of very, very nasty herbs, and surprisingly it tastes really good, but it took a lot for us to get it to taste good. Because of that, the flavor systems, the sweeteners, it has an extraordinary capability of kind of clumping. And so if it touches water, so the outside will clump and it'll sit there. So now I got to shake the heck out of it. So the trick I'm trying to tell you is when you first put water mixed with Core Test or vice versa, shake it immediately and let it dissolve. If you shake it immediately and let it dissolve, this won't happen.
Yep.
It just might settle a little bit, but this is not going to happen. I kind of messed up here.
So you're gonna get some chunks,
yeah,
which is okay too. You just eat it, you know.
Yeah, you
go.
kind of like chew on it. It release, but see, it's still kind of in there. But it'll dissolve eventually. But that's the key with when taking Core Test.
All right, learning something new every day. God, man, it's amazing. All right, this guy Joe So Short, he started taking Core hard, and now he pees more frequently. Is this normal?
Well, I don't know if you could say that's 100% correlation, but it doesn't necessarily surprise me. So Core Hard does have some mild anti-estrogens in it. Anytime you take an anti-estrogen, it dries you out a little bit. You can dry your joints out a little bit. It kind of acts as kind of like a natural diuretic. And so anytime you're going to have that, you're going to pee more. So I would not be totally alarmed if it's something that's, like you can't hold your pee. I'd go see your doctor, but I don't think that's the issue here. I just think he's probably peeing more. So, but definitely, keep an eye on it. But that is something that, I've heard of before. I don't think I've ever really paid attention to it with me, but it's not surprising at all. I wouldn't be too alarmed.
There's another type of complaint kind of thing. Jake.
Complaint? We don't want to hear the complaint. No, I'm just kidding.
Well,
keeping it real.
Keeping it real.
Okay.
I don't know if this is completely from our product, but I took the Alpha Stack.
Yeah.
Alpha Stack, I don't know what else he took. It just says Alpha Stack. And I had the runs, and he broke out in hives.
Okay, well, so this is a good, first of all, there's a number of stacks on the market called the Alpha Stack. So I'm assuming it's Core Test or Core Alpha. I would like to know what other products are there.
Right.
But this is very important, is if you ever have a response that you think is out of the ordinary to a dietary supplement, per the warnings, you should directly email that manufacturer, and they should go about specific guidelines, FDA guidelines on how to handle that. So, like, you should send an email to info@Core Nutritionals, and there is a protocol that we have. This is part of our, good manufacturing practice. This is part of our quality control. This is what we do. We would ask you a lot of questions about your health history, and your allergies, any other medications you were on, any other supplements you were taking, things like that, to make sure, to try to pinpoint what that response is from. That is a new one, The hive thing is very weird. That is something that, I've never heard of for this. The runs is actually not too surprising with any product that contains DAA. So with the Alpha Stack, Core Alpha contains N-methyl-D-aspartic acid. It's probably not that. I would think that the stack was probably Core Test. Core Test contains calcium D-aspartic acid. If you have stomach discomfort from D-aspartic acid or D-aspartic acid containing products, take it with food. As soon as we switch people to taking it with food, they process it much better because D-aspartic acid can give you the runs. So that is not surprising, that part of it. So if you ever have an issue with that, take it with, like, right after a big meal or something like that.
Cool. All right, Joey Fitness. Over all the years of lifting, how have you broke through plateaus in the gym and in business? I am now 6 years deep into lifting and find it hard to create new muscle growth. And thank you for high quality products. Core's the only brand I use. Crush it. Yeah, buddy. I love this guy.
Love that.
Good guy.
Yeah. So, a couple things. At probably 6 years into training, I guess there were some plateaus for sure. I mean, you've experienced a lot. I think, probably now 28 years into training, I experienced more plateaus. But I'm constantly looking at ways to kind of stimulate the muscle. But you don't always have to think that stimulation or growth or progression has to be, I once bench pressed 315, now I bench press 325. You can still bench press 315, but you can still put on muscle if you can do it for more reps. Or you can increase your volume or shorten your rest time or find different things. So over the years, I've found ways to challenge myself and kind of bust through plateaus, not necessarily. I'm assuming he's speaking on, like, I'm stuck. My deadlift is at 405. Yeah. I can't go higher than that.
Well, he said new muscle growth, so maybe he's just seeing slower progress in muscle.
And it's going to be, muscle gains are like this, they're going to tail off. You get your newbie gains, and then they slow off, and then, when you've been training for 20 years, they come a lot slower. It's more about refinement. So that is just something you're just going to have to constantly find new ways to kind of stimulate yourself in the gym. And the other question was in terms of how to break through plateaus in business. I'm not really sure what that means. I mean, really that comes down to how bad do you want it, right? Like, if there is a problem, if there's something in front of you, you can sit there and you can cry about it and you can whine over it, or you can really reflect inwardly and like, why is that problem there? Some things are beyond your control. Those things that are beyond your control, don't fucking waste your enemy. Your enemy. Don't waste your energy, worrying about those things, because you're just going to suck all that positive energy you could have, and you're going to put it into worrying about those things you can't control. So I would say, really kind of look inwardly. Is it something that you're personally doing or not doing that is causing the issue? And then kind of go on from that.
Yeah.
Word.
I relate to that a lot right now. All right, last one. The other two are not good.
All right, fire away.
All right, Ken Nosen.
How are we on the time here, Bobby? Are we good on the time?
15 minutes.
How do you constantly evolve your ideas on research and development for core products? Respect from Australia.
Yeah, man. Love Australian peeps. We'll be there in August, hopefully. So we're playing in the Gaines Tour in
Yeah, Bobby, we going?
Yeah. I will be in Australia. These guys will be back here holding the fort down.
Nah. Private jet. We're coming.
Anyways, what was the question? How do we keep? How
do you evolve your research and development?
This is the part that I love. I love kind of designing products. That's the fun. I challenge myself and my team to put together products that are better than any that are out there. Honestly, we own retail stores and we sell a ton of other brands, 150 brands here, and Core is just one of the brands that we carry. We know there's other good products on the market. I look for holes in the market or areas that I feel like that can be improved, and if I feel like I can improve them, I do. If I feel like there's a great product out there that I use and really I wouldn't change anything about it, I'm not going to be bringing out a product there. So I really try to bring out the best products that I want to use. And that comes down to you have to keep up with your relationships with your manufacturers so that you know what are the newest ingredients that are coming out. I'm not in a chemistry lab like coming up with a new compound. I am using science, I'm using studies, I'm using anecdotal evidence and all of that stuff put together. But my goal is not to go out and find the next creatine monohydrate. It just won't happen, right? Like I'm a biochemist, and molecular biology was a major I studied, so I can understand it, but I'm not a doctor. I don't try to create new molecules that are going to do certain things. I keep up on the studies. I keep up on the industry trends. I keep up with the trade shows and all the new manufacturers and what are the new things coming out. And then I try using it on myself and testing it, seeing how I respond to it, getting feedback from other people, letting people like you guys test it and sample it. And so it's just a constant evolution. And really I'm just looking to fill holes in the industry, or really to fill holes in my supplementation. I mean, that's pretty much every product has filled one of those holes. Word?
Word.
Word.
More questions next time.
All right, next time we'll do another one. Hopefully, Bobby, what do you think? 2 weeks? You guys are on the road next week?
It'll take him 2 weeks to get this up, so.
Yeah. Well, he'll just contact his friend in Pakistan and he'll get this up real quick. All right. So, till next time, keep crushing it.
I got a phone call.